All right, let's dive into a story of some serious cosmic tragedy. We're talking about a tale of a divine servant, a being who was a vital part of creation's machinery, who somehow became a threat to the entire multiverse. This is the story of Barbatos, the great dragon.
Yeah, we're kicking things off with this quote because it just perfectly nails the horror at the heart of this whole thing. It's a mission statement, really, from a creature that used to be a tool, but then became a predator. So the big question is, how in the world did we get here?
To really get the tragedy of the fall, we've got to go all the way back to the very beginning, a time of pure creation and cosmic order, all centered around this incredible place called the World Forge.
So, picture this. A cosmic blacksmith, this guy Alpheus, and his job is to literally forge entire universes. Every spark that flies from his hammer, every world he creates, it's all born from the raw hopes and fears of all living things. I mean, what a beautiful, powerful image of creation, right?
But, not every creation comes out perfect. For every single stable universe, there are thousands of failures, these twisted, broken worlds they call nightmares. So the system had this simple three-step process to deal with them. The smith makes them, the failures get tossed out, and then a great dragon eats them. Simple.
And that great dragon? That was Barbatos. But see, he wasn't a villain, not at first. He was a function. He was, for all intents and purposes, a divine garbage disposal, created to chow down on these nightmare worlds and recycle their materials. For ages, he was a faithful, absolutely crucial part of the whole process.
But this couldn't last. This perfect system was about to shatter. And now we get to the real turning point of the story, where Barbatos's divine job gets horribly, horribly twisted. This is it. This is the moment everything changes. One of these nightmare worlds, one so full of dark ambition, it just didn't shatter when he bit down. Instead, it whispered to him. It planted this tiny, poisonous seed of an idea, that the smith was flawed, that his creations were just prisons, and that true power, true freedom, wasn't in serving creation, but in the sweet release of unmaking it all.
And the change is, well, it's night and day. Before, he was a servant, a recycler. He was just an extension of his master's will. But after that one poisoned meal, he becomes a devourer, a hoarder of the very nightmares he was meant to destroy. He becomes hunger itself.
So Barbatos commits the ultimate act of rebellion. He eats his creator, Alpheus. And just like that, with the master smith gone, the world forge, the very engine of creation, goes dark. The whole system is completely broken.
With his master gone and the forge silent, Barbatos is no longer a servant. Oh no, he is now the undisputed ruler of the darkness he used to just live it. He becomes something new, something absolutely terrifying. Okay, so the scale of his new power is just immense. He isn't just a big monster anymore. He's a reality-ending threat. He's still the cosmic disposal system, sure, but now he decides what gets erased. He wields this terrifying power called the anti-music. He hijacks a very familiar symbol of fear, and he commands a whole army of broken heroes.
Let's dig into that a little. They say the multiverse vibrates with the music of the spheres, right? The sound of life itself. Well, Barbatos puts out the exact opposite, the anti-music. Just try to imagine the sound of a billion failed universes all screaming at once. It's not just loud, it's a frequency that literally unmakes reality. It's the sound of the story coming to an end.
So here's where this cosmic horror story crashes right into one of the most famous heroes ever, revealing this really shocking and deeply personal connection.
I mean, that's the question, isn't it? How does a street-level hero from Gotham City get all tangled up with a multiversal dragon god? The answer is pretty chilling. He was chosen. So looking up from his dark pit, Barbatos saw this image, Bruce Wayne, a man dressed up like a bat just tumbling through time. And he saw that this symbol created so much fear in mortals. So he stole it. He just co-opted its power, and now he claims that every single time Batman uses that symbol, he's actually, unknowingly, praying to the great dragon that's lurking in the dark.
And like any great dragon, Barbatos has a hoard. But his isn't piled high with gold, it's piled high with broken heroes. He scoured the failed worlds of the dark multiverse and collected the most twisted, evil versions of Batman you can imagine. We're talking guys like the Batman who laughs. And he made them his generals, his Dark Knights. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and maybe the most terrifying thing about Barbatos. It's not just his power, it's his philosophy. And that philosophy gets its own walking, talking form in a creature named Valerius. So to really get what Barbatos is all about now, you have to look at his masterpiece, Valerius. This thing isn't just a monster or a messenger. He's described as the bridge between man and dragon. He is the walking, talking embodiment of Barbatos's entire nihilistic, everything must die worldview. The ideas that Valerius represents kind of echoes some concepts from the philosopher Nietzsche. His will to power is all about seeing destruction not as a crime, but as a liberation. His transvaluation of values is weaponized with a power that corrupts heroes, just to prove good and evil are meaningless. And in this super twisted version of Amor Fati, he totally embraces his cursed fate as a cosmic janitor and turns that job into his ultimate weapon. So Valerius's main weapon is something called the Black Flame, but this is not normal fire. It doesn't destroy stuff. It destroys ideas. It literally targets the meaning behind things, all the virtues and ideals that heroes are built on. The final effect of this power is a total moral flip. When the flame touches a hero, they don't die, they get worse. They become predators who see their old virtues as pathetic weaknesses. And in this messed up new world order, the old villains, they're nothing more than slaves to an evil that is so much bigger. And this is his final chilling statement of purpose. You know, where philosophers talked about a higher man who would create new values for humanity, Valerius looks at all that and says, no, I am the end man. His purpose isn't to build anything new. It's to consume everything that ever was. So we're left with this really unsettling question, aren't we? The story of Barbatos gives us this terrifying possibility. What if the creator of everything was flawed? What if the worlds he made were actually prisons? And if that's true, is the dragon who wants to tear it all down and eat it a villain? Or is he a liberator?